Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle.
Mr. Rob O'Hara.
Sprite Castle.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another exciting episode of Sprite Castle. It needs a better name. This is not Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle is the podcast. Sprite Castle streams. Sprite Castle plays. Sprite Castle twitches. Kind of like that. Welcome to Sprite Castle Twitches. And I'm your host, the twitchy one, Jack Flack. How is everybody? We made it to the hump day once again. So that's good. That's good news. We are halfway through the week. I am awesomely refreshed as I spent an entire week on the road last week. We had a great vacation. We drove. My wife had a business meeting in Minneapolis, just outside Minneapolis. So we drove from Oklahoma City to Minneapolis and back. And we stopped at, we saw many things. We saw Prince's, I don't really want to call it a house. We saw Prince's complex, Paisley Park. We did that tour, which was mind-blowing and amazing. Paisley Park is 65,000 square foot. If you could just imagine it's more than a house. There's multiple recording studios. There's all kinds of things on the grounds, but, imagine your house being 1.5 acres. That's what 65,000 square foot is. So, we went to Paisley Park. We ate at a bunch of cool things. We saw a bunch of different, museums. Along the way, we stopped at the official Spam Museum, which is where this hat came from. The Spam Museum is in southern Minnesota. It's in Austin, Minnesota. It's right next to the home of the Hormel company and the Hormel plant. And I thought that the Spam Museum would be really dumb and really silly, and it was so much fun. The Spam Museum was great. We also went to the Pizza Hut Museum, which is inside the very first Pizza Hut, which was... I had them swapped. I thought that the Spam Museum would be lame and that the Pizza Hut Museum would be great, but they were vice versa. The original Pizza Hut is about 500 square foot, and the museum is inside that space. So there's not a lot to see there. Also, I don't know if any of you have had this experience in your life, but I was at the Pizza Hut Museum, and in the corner they had a giant glass display, and behind the glass display was a red satin Pizza Hut manager's jacket, and I knew at least 20 people that had those jackets. They wore those jackets when I worked for Pizza Hut. So it's very strange to see things in a museum that you think, I might have one of those in my closet. I'm not really sure. I remember going 2 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I went to the Smithsonian. I've been to the Smithsonian multiple times, but in the Smithsonian there is a giant display exhibit about the evolution of food, and they have these giant glass, of course, displays again, and one of the things says it's talking about the old ways that food was packaged, and underneath this giant glass display are the old styrofoam clamshells that McDonald's used to serve Big Macs and remember BLTs, and the hot side would stay hot, cool side would stay cool, and it close them up, and anyway, and then kids are walking up and they're like, I can't believe they put those in there. And I'm like, they don't use those? I thought they still use those. So yeah, it's always weird to go into a museum and see things that you think, yeah, I totally remember that. I may have one of those clamshells still in the back of my car somewhere. So anyway, we saw a lot of cool things, but one of the coolest things which I didn't think was going to be that cool, but it turned out to be super awesome, was the Evel Knievel Museum. And the Evel Knievel Museum is in Topeka, Kansas. It is attached to a Harley-Davidson dealership. When we went in, I said, you know, I mean, he was a guy that jumped cars. It's not that exciting. And at the end, when we came out, I told my wife, the road trip's over. I'm going to go trade in our car right now. We're buying a motorcycle and we're going to go build a ramp and we're going to go jump stuff. I'm over with the trip. It was so cool. So we got a 2-part tonight for Sprite Castle. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to play some motorcycle stunt games. Some different motorcycle games on the Commodore 64 where you do jumps and things like that. I think I haven't tried all of them yet. I've looked them all up. So I think that'll be fun. And then we're going to take a short intermission in the middle, and we're going to go through my vacation pictures from the Evel Knievel Museum, just so you guys can see some of the things that are there. They have all kinds of motorcycles. They have a skeleton, which is interesting. They have some interesting cars, and they have a couple of vehicles that may surprise you. So I hope everybody is looking forward to that. So let's flip over to the game window, and let's find, so this first game, this is a game that I had, like so many games, you know, in the Commodore days, you not just downloading games, but sometimes, you know, you would call a BBS, or more, you would go trade with somebody and you would say, oh, I want a copy of this disc. And there would be other games on that disc. So you would end up with other games you didn't know, you know, that you weren't expecting. And so this was one of those games that I got. I got this game that was included on a disc. We're just going to try the first copy I find here and see if this loads. And so I remember getting this game. It's not, like I said, not one that I wanted. And there's a trick that I've looked up on how to play it, because there's something special with the controls that I didn't know as a kid, which made it kind of impossible. So what's up, Ricky? What's up, Picard? Seeing everybody piling in tonight. Again, on my vacation, we went and saw a lot of things, but we also, one of the things we saw was the Evel Knievel Museum. So we're going to try some crazy Evel Knievel-like games on the Commodore 64 tonight. This is Eddie Kidd, and this is the Eddie Kidd Jump Challenge. Now, I don't know who Eddie Kidd is, but apparently he's a real person. And also, I find it somewhat suspicious that Eddie Kidd just so happens to have the same initials as Evel Knievel. Just a thing. Okay. I've not seen this game in 30 years. I do remember that the sprite is gigantic. So what we're going to do just for the first run here, first we're going to untangle the joystick from my earbuds, is I believe if you just hold down the fire button, well, now the earbud, nah, I tangled it more. I think I'm going to have to climb through. Okay, there we go. If you just hold down the button, I think we get gas, and if we pull left, we can do a wheelie. But you notice we're not going very fast. We're not shifting gears. We're also not making it to the jump very quickly. Let me see if I can multitask. This bike sounds a lot like a mosquito. You get a lot of torque in first gear there. Can I flip over backwards? I can. Oh, well, what do you know? There, and then you hobble off. I do remember that. So what I learned today on the internet when I was looking for the name, I couldn't remember the name of this game, is that the function keys shift gears. So that's what I read. Oh no. Oh, I'm not in the right window. There we go. There's second gear. Oh no, here we go. It's going. Here we're going. Oh no, he's in there. Oh no. Oh no, Eddie kid. Oh no. Ay. Oh, oh look, there's an ambulance coming. Oh boy. I don't need an ambulance. Eddie Kid's fine. If Eddie Kid walks away from a jump, it's a good jump. We don't need no ambulance. Hope you like hospital food. All right. That's not true. I jumped more than 0 cars. Just didn't land so well. What's up, Tex? All right, let's all right, so we don't let's see. Second gear F3, third gear F5. All right, here we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Let's see if this is fast enough to clear. When we get in the air, we're going to pull back. Oh, no. Pull back. All right, put the front end down. Come on, Eddie. Oh, no, Eddie. Oh, Eddie. Oh, Eddie. Oh, Eddie. Again, I think any wreck you walk away from, I do like it's like limping, like he's got a wooden leg. Too bad. I hope you like hospital food. Let's go here. Again, that's not true. I jumped a lot of cars. I just didn't land. Okay, so we figured out. Let's see. Okay, but we're not gonna max out third gear. Oh, I just tapped it. Oh, Eddie. There will be it. Can I press the button and skip this part? I cannot. There's all the things that will go fast in this game. The ambulance is not one of them. Nor is this. I mean, I think this game is written. It feels like it's written in BASIC or something. Okay. All right. How many more guys do I have? What we've learned so far in this game is the function keys shift gears. The button accelerates. So let's get us up. We got to get up into about third gear. But we don't want to overshoot the ramp, which we did. We've overshot it and undershot it. We're kind of going by sound. Pull back. Look at that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Eddie Kid. Oh, Eddie Kid. Too bad. I hope him and my dad like hospital food. My dad goes to the VA whenever he goes. So I think the food is less than great. But the bill is better than great. So, all right, let's go here. By the way, we went to... Drazu says, if I'm in Cleveland area, check out B.A. Sweeties. One of the things we saw on my trip, that we went to our trip, was the largest candy store in Minnesota, which was truth in advertising. It was amazingly large. All right, let's get this somewhere in there. Don't want to overshoot. Let's give it a little tug at the end here. Boom, get that wheel up. Let's clear those cars. Come down, come down. Come on now. Come on, kid. Put it down. Oh no. Ah! Oh, come on now. I was on the ramp. Then it'll tell me I jumped no cars, which is not true. I jumped all the cars. I just didn't land. It didn't land when I landed on all the cars. Ay. I haven't been in Cleveland in quite a while. About 5 years ago. 6 years. No, maybe longer. We did a road trip where we went to Niagara Falls. And as part of that trip, we started off by going to Chicago and then going off to Cleveland. And went to go see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was a good. All right, let's get this up. Now, what do? We just. Oh, got down. There we go. The problem, I mean, oh, look at that. He puts it down. Eddie Kidd, all right. The difficult challenge with this game is that there's no speedometer. There's nothing. I'm just literally going by the audio of what the engine rev sounds like. 5 cars. All right, Eddie. Oh, so when I switch over to the chat window, the keyboard goes off and then I can't switch gears. Sounds about right. Pull a wheel up. Put it down, Eddie. Oh my gosh. I am a professional. Look at that. Look at that. I'm telling you this. There is no way to walk out of the Evel Knievel Museum and not want to immediately go build a ramp. And I don't feel like the distance is that different between the jumps. Like I'm not significantly. Oh, look at that. Now I've got it down. Oh, there we go. Transfusion. Oh, nurse, I'm going to make a new revolution. No, resolution. I'm never going to speed again. 7 cars to me, Carl. That doesn't really rhyme with... Carl does not rhyme with car. I didn't see if there's a 4th gear. Let's lighten it up. Light it up. Look at that. What's the world record? 7? I think I'm the world champion at this now. Oh my gosh. Once you kind of figure out the sound that you're looking for, it's not too bad. Oh my gosh. 8 cars. Someone said, who is that? Ricky that said this reminds him of World Games of barrel jumping. It does, except for I'm not having to rock my joystick and go, oh. All right, let's see if there's a 4th gear. Oh, there is a 4th gear, but I don't want that. It's about where the mosquito needs to be. Wind that rubber band motor up. Let's do it. Put it down. Come on, kid. Oh, no, kid. Oh, no. Okay. I think as long as you land on that flat part of the ramp. These sprites are gigantic in this game. And I don't think it would have the same effect of when he wrecks and he limps off if the sprites were smaller. Ricky says he hopes this is a budget game. I mean, by budget, I got to think this was 50 cents. Yeah, there's not much to it. Oh, we're kind of winding out 3rd gear. Put it up there. All right, put it down. Come on, Eddie. Oh, look at that. You can't do a wheelie after you land. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit the next one while I'm doing a wheelie. We're going to add a little bit of challenge to it. You can lean back, but you can't do a wheelie after you land. 10 cars! And I'm still in third. There it is. Come on. Oh, I'm going way too fast. I was focusing more on the wheelie and less on the... Oh, look at that. He pulls it off. He pulls it off with ease. He's the greatest jumper in the world. Eddie Kidd with a record 10 cars. 11. All right, I think we're going to have to go to fourth gear on this one. Let's max out third gear and see if I can make this. Oh, you want some of this? Eddie is the greatest showman in the world. Okay, Eddie. All right, stop showing off. Okay, put it down. Oh, I could do like 3 more cars in third gear. Yeah, I agree with you. There's just not much to this. And more than barrel jumping, this reminds me of the old stunt cycle, which we're going to be trying out also here in just a minute. I mean, now at this point, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to open it up third gear. Hopefully I don't blow my engine. Oh, I fell off my motorcycle. That's my fault, Eddie. I apologize. I'm sorry about your hospital trip. I was showboating a little too much. This could have been in California Games easily. They could have, I mean, I like the BMX event, but they could have had a motocross jump event and thrown this into California Games for sure. Oh, is that it? Oh, that was it. That was my last jump. All right, well, that's not bad. Now, when I was a kid, again, I got this game from one of our disc swaps, you know, just copying discs. And the file, the file name was E.K. Jump Challenge. And so I always thought it was Evel Knievel. So when I was looking for the game, I was looking for Evel Knievel jump something. And so it took me a little bit of time to actually track down and find what this is called. But that is Eddie Kidd Jump Challenge. Now we're going to go even further back. I don't know how many of you guys remember the original Stunt Cycle, but the Stunt Cycle was, well, it started as an arcade game. And there was a pair of motorcycle handlebars, and you had to give it, and it was just like this game, except for you went on 3 levels, 1, 2, 3, and so you built up speed, and then at the end you had to jump barrels. And I don't even think, I don't remember on the original one, I don't think that you had to lean forward or back. I think it was completely based on speed. And so Atari sold a home version of that, and it was a standalone console. And let me see if I can pull a picture of this up. Doop. Yeah, here we go. Let's go to photos, left monitor. So this is what it looked like. This was a thing that you bought at home. It hooked up to your TV just like an Atari. It had handlebars. And then you had, some options down here. But basically, I mean, it just played the one game. It only played this game. And, of course, it says right there that it was, I don't know where that went. Hang on. But it says that it captured the feel and fun of stunt jumping Evel Knievel was famous for, and was a mild success. So anyway, this was a home version of the arcade game, and so there were a lot of. Let's get back to this. A lot of freeware kind of chumpy versions of that same thing. So let me go find the one that I was looking for. I think they're all called Stunt Cycle or something relatively similar. STUN. Here we go. Stun Runner, Stunt Car, Stunt Bike. We're getting close. Oh yeah, is that it? No, Stunt. Maybe it's Stunt Bike. Is that right? This says Stunt Cycle, but let's do. I'm gonna look and see if this is it. I don't think this is it, but let's take a look. But anyway, it's a very, very simplistic game. It was literally just based on your speed, and so there's not a lot to it. But I think this is the port that I'm looking for. Drazoo says, hope that all of us have a good time at Boat Fest and that he's going to miss us. I wish you were going to be there. I had such a great time hanging out with you last year. The last time Steel Rat was over, I showed him my copy of Thexter and told him the story about that. So definitely that game is right over here on the shelf and is adored. I agree with you that the timing is not great. As some of you know, that weekend is the same weekend as my wife's 50th birthday. And so I'm not quite in the doghouse, but I can see it I'll be able to see it from Hurricane. I don't feel like this is the game. Yeah, because this is way too new. Oh, okay, so I'm controlling a motorcycle with nobody on it. Am I supposed to go get my guy? What is that? Oh, that's a... Oh, I see. That's my guy up there. I'm supposed to keep up with him. I wish I... Oh, I see. So it drops him from that, and I'm supposed to catch him. I got it. Yeah, it's Drazoo. It's too bad that the problem isn't finding a place to stay or whatever, because Steel Rat and I are going to be... hold on. I see. So I dropped the guy. I'm the one that drops the guy. So I got to wait till I get caught up there. I'm not sure what I did to... I'm not sure what button I hit to drop the guy. Maybe it was just the actual fire button. Because I thought maybe if I... Okay, let's get up there. Come on, catch my dude. I'll tell you, you know when you're getting old is when you just... Okay, drop my dude. Oh, okay, so he's getting closer to the ground. Drop it. Drop it. Oh, wait. Drop. There he is. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm in the wrong lane. Yeah, we're going to be in the 25-footer. I don't know if we're going to be able to park it at directly at Boat Fest. If we can't, though, we will be parking in Amigo Aaron's driveway. We've already I've done some test research. Oh, no, get up there, dude. Get up there. Catch my guy. Looks like we'll be able to fit a keg in there. I need a list of what do people want to see at the auction. Now, the auction is going to be available not just for people at Boat Fest, but also I believe everybody in the Discord is going to be able. Oh, okay, come on, catch me, fall, go. Come on, brother. Don't hang on the clout. What happened? We've wrapped around. Maybe I didn't. I think I've got to drop him. Maybe I'm just not. All right, let's catch back up. Also, whatever running over those things doesn't seem to affect me all that much. Just kind of slows me down a little bit, but not enough to justify dodging them. Okay, get up here. All right. All right, let's dodge that. Okay. Go. Okay. Oh, come on! I'm hoping the other person I'm hoping is at Boat Fest this year is the guy that brought the moonshine. That guy is welcome back. That was a great addition and a icebreaker, so to speak, because that got the conversation flowing and the sweat a dripping. A little backwoods hurricane moonshine. Oh no, don't fall yet. Why does as far as stuntmen go, why does he look like Aquaman? Come on, get up there. Don't fall. Am I dodging birthday candles? What is going on in this game? Come on, man. Get up there. We're almost there. Come on. Here we go. We're almost there. Okay, drop down. Oh, we made it to the end. Darn it. Yep, Level Lord's going to be there again. My plan is to... Level Lord brought snacks and drinks for everyone, which is not expected, especially when you're coming from another country. But it was very generous, and I fortuitously... All right, get down or fall down. Come on, put your legs... There you go. Are we on? We're on! I landed! He's on! He's on the bike! We are the stuntman. We made it. Yeah, sitting next to Level Lord was a good deal for me. I got lots of snacks and drinks throughout the whole thing. Oh my gosh. Now they're serious. I mean, before it was, what happens if I hit these? I just kind of drive through them. Not that big a deal. Oh, bunny hops. I'm supposed to be doing bunny hops. How do I do a bunny hop? Oh, buttoning up. That makes more sense. This could have been another, as a little simplistic for California games, but we could have done this. But again, it's a little bit of a... I like how I bunny hop into every log. Hey, Steve Burtz, what's going on? I gotta get the timing a little better. I just have to hit the button the minute it looks like I'm about to hit the log. I was jumping a little early. Come on. Can we miss one? Man, I love to bunny hop somebody. Oh no, what is this? This is not something that Evel Knievel did not have to put up with this kind of nonsense. Am I supposed to go through the hoops? I'm avoiding them so far. Maybe I'm not supposed to be avoiding them. So far in this game, avoiding things hasn't really been the answer. Come on. Throw one over home plate here. Let's go. Okay, the button and no... Oh, look at that. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, sorry, you're on fire. You're no Eddie Kidd. There we go. Oh, boy. I killed Aquaman. Aquaman and his... Oh. You got to do it a little earlier. There we go. Look at that. Oh. Oh. All right. Sorry, you don't have what it takes to qualify for the next level. Better luck next time. You know what? I feel like I did. Like, I mean, let's recap my day. First of all, I hang glided in on a purple cloud and jumped down and landed on a motorcycle that was controlling itself like it was being driven by Casper, the friendly ghost. Then I went through another racetrack where I bunny hopped 8 million rolling logs like I was on the Lost World of Pitfall, except for on a motorcycle. And then I jumped through some fiery hoops, but not enough. I think I do have what it takes. I think you're crap, is what I say. Not you guys. You guys are not crap. Okay, let's see. Did we do... Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun. First of all, before... so for those of you that weren't here at the very beginning, I went to... we were on a vacation last week. We visited a lot of places, including the Evel Knievel Museum in Topeka, Kansas. And so what we're going to do... I want to show you a video clip of Evel Knievel, and this was one of his more famous jumps. Now, my dad told me that he actually, this jump was, I believe it was this jump. It might have been the Snake Canyon one, but I think it was this one. He said it was kind of like a pay-per-view, except for it wasn't pay-per-view at your home. They showed it at the Myriad. Like, you went down to our big arena and you paid $5 or something, and they showed it on a screen. So it was a kind of pay-per-view, I guess, but you went and you watched it remotely, but live, you know. And so he said that he and one of his coworkers went, and he said they had pretzels and beer and stuff like that. So that was the big selling point. So let's go to... I think this will probably be the best thing. And let's see this Evel Knievel clip. And this is when he jumped Caesar's Palace. This clip's about 2 minutes long.
And Knievel's jump was the big draw in town. Jay Sarno Jr. was the son of the Caesars owner.
This has the best landing of any jump ever.
What struck me most about the oddity of that day was seeing this unbelievable crowd, this huge number of people standing anywhere there was an open place to stand.
Thousands converged on Caesars to watch the jump, the likes of which had never been attempted before. For Knievel, this was the jump he believed would make him a superstar. A phenomenal leap over 140 feet, his longest jump yet.
140-foot jump, and by the way,
Evel Knievel, even at that point, had never figured out
here.
like the physics of the whole thing, you know, how fast exactly you had to be going to go how high and the angle. He did it all by the seat of his pants.
At 2 p.m., he began the jump that would make him a legend.
That made him a legend, all right. Look at that. That's better than Eddie Kidd.
It just seemed like eternity. He was in the air.
Oh boy.
His body was bouncing and the motorcycle was falling over him.
Watching him hit like that and crossing up and flying over like a rag doll, you know, it was traumatic.
Knievel is raced to the hospital.
And we saw the ambulance come up, and my father grabbed I was 9 at the time, my brother, I believe, was 6, and he grabbed us and said, we gotta leave, we gotta go to the hospital and see what's happening.
Reports began to circulate that the Daredevil had sunk into a life-threatening coma, or even that he had died in the crash.
I asked my father, was Mr. Knievel gonna die, I think is what I asked. And he said, no, he's not gonna die, but that's not necessarily what you're gonna read in the papers the next day.
The crash was horrifying. Knievel was concussed and had suffered multiple fractures. His injuries were serious, but not life-threatening. But he sensed an opportunity to portray them that way.
The story of just the jump didn't work and Mr. Knievel got hurt in and of itself wasn't a very interesting story. But the story of Bob Knievel almost dying and then, you know, not dying would have been a much better story. And so that was the story they decided to engineer.
So that's I mean, that was his thing, was he was the first self-promotion guy, right? I mean, not the first, but he was the first. He was super big into the self-promotion stuff. Let me find a better view here. Here we go. This is a little better. So the reason we are playing Evel Knievel games tonight is because, as I mentioned before, I got to go to the Evel Knievel Museum. The Evel Knievel Museum is in Topeka, Kansas. And so if you know anything about Evel Knievel, you know that he was not from Topeka, Kansas. I don't know that he ever went to Kansas. But he had a really long Mack truck that he toured in. And they discovered the Mack truck several years ago, and they sent it to Kansas to the Mack truck factory to have it restored. And so that's why the museum is in Topeka, Kansas. So it has nothing to do with where he was from, lived, died, anything like that. But that's why. So I'm gonna blaze through a lot of pictures, because if you're on the Patreon, I already put a link to these pictures. So you know that we take 1,000 pictures at every location. But this was the first thing when you walked in, and it's a kid on a bike, and basically it just said, every kid in the 70s and the 80s was inspired to build ramps and jump things because of Evel Knievel. And they also had a large digital television on the wall. And if you have a picture of yourself jumping a bike or a bike ramp from the 70s, it has to be from the 1970s, you can send them and they will add that to their display. So I thought that was pretty cool. And we looked at pictures of a lot of other people, kids and stuff that had done that. And so what you get when you go through the museum is basically every professional jump that he ever did, and the motorcycle and the outfit and the helmet. And they also had video screens that showed you the jumps. Now, on a lot of these motorcycles, about half of them say, this is the real motorcycle and we had to restore it because Evel Knievel smashed it when he landed. And the other half say it smashed so bad that the bike doesn't exist anymore. So this is the same model and it's been, reupholstered or whatever, restored to look like the one that Evel Knievel rode. But it's not the real one because the real one is in little tiny pieces. There's Evel Knievel doing a sweet wheelie. So this starts off and, it says right here, it had been less than a year since Evel Knievel had broke his arm and ribs in an unpublicized crash while attempting to jump 13 cars in Missoula, Montana. And then he decided to raise the stakes. And so he attempted to jump over 15 cars on ABC's Wide World of Sports. If you guys remember Wide World of Sports. He made the most of the opportunity and landed the jump successfully. And this was the jump that launched his career on national level. So this is, memorializing that first jump. This is, and so a lot of people, if you knew anything about, Evel Knievel, you know that he, was associated with Harley Davidson. And this museum is attached to a Harley Davidson dealership. So I was surprised to see bikes like this, which is a Triumph. It says right here, this is a 650 Triumph. So I was surprised to see that, but he hadn't got a sponsorship yet. So he wasn't sponsored at this point. But you can see the cool outfits. I mean, he always rocked the cool outfits, but there's a good looking Triumph there. And also it said he had different bikes for wheelies versus jumps. And one of the crazy things I read was it said a lot of his early jumps, he didn't have modified motorcycles, just a regular motorcycle. And so when he would jump, it would just destroy the suspension because they weren't like hardened to take that kind of impact, you know. And so there's all kinds of memorabilia, clothes, and things like that at the museum. This is an American Eagle motorcycle, a 750, and there's matching ones here. But then you get to the Harley Davidsons, and from this point on, they're all Harleys. Man, some good looking bikes. And of course, you know, Evel Knievel, I think someone mentioned that there's some similarities between him and Billy Mitchell, but Evel Knievel always rocked the red, white, and blue. He was the true American guy. He wasn't always a good guy, and they talk a little bit about that. He lost most of his money. He got, I think, a domestic abuse thing. He went to jail. He lost all his corporate sponsorships. He actually filed bankruptcy after making tens of millions of dollars. So it was not it wasn't necessarily a happy ending. But there's a lot of dopey pictures of me like this standing in front of the motorcycles that you just saw. There's kind of a shot of the red, white, and blue, and on a lot of his bikes. You can see here, like it says, "Color me lucky," and so that there's a lot of references to luck on the motorcycles. I just love the I mean, those are exhaust running down. So is that is that like an air intake, like a Ram Air thing? I don't even know. That's nuts, man. Like, you see that bike coming, you move out of the way. Even if you're a ramp, you try to hop to the left. Here's another Harley, and he said, there's a quote on the side over here. It says, "I was the first guy to wheelie while standing on the seat." And you can see the picture of him back there. So Evel Knievel claimed to be the first to do a lot of things. He was probably the guy that was most known for it. I don't know if nobody else really ever did a wheelie while standing on the seat, but that was one of the things he was known for. There's a big quote in the Evel Knievel Museum that says, "If I had to do it all over again, I would have gone faster a few times." That made me laugh. And again, there's another sweet looking Harley Davidson. And so this is that's one of the gas tank and the fender on the bike, but that's all airbrushing and stuff. But again, you got references to luck and to money. This is stuff from the 14 bus jump. I believe this is the one that was in the Astrodome, and over 2 days they sold 900,000 tickets to the Astrodome. He did the jump twice. He did 2 shows back to back so that he could sell that out. He just loved, I mean, this was like at the peak of Evel Knievel the hype, I've learned this, by the way. I'm not going to read all this, but I just want to say I've learned this by going to museums. Let me go back one picture. When you take a picture of a motorcycle, then a week later when you get home, you go, what is this? What was that? So I always take a picture of the sign so that I can read it, when I get home. This says, this motorcycle, riding this motorcycle, the Daredevil showman Doug Danger jumped 15 cars in Austin, Texas. Anyway, it talks about the connections between him and Evel Knievel. There's a lot of different stuff. Again, here's motorcycles. This is this is interesting. This is when they found his Mack truck. This was a giant mailbag of fan letters, and he never opened them. He didn't open or read any of his fan letters, and he said something to the effect of, the real fans will come see me at the show. So if you went to the show and saw him, he'd sign something, he'd shake your hand, he'd do whatever. But all these people that wrote letters, he didn't even look at the letters, which, it is what it is. But it's interesting that they haven't preserved here now. This is one of his helmets. Now, remember the Caesar's Palace jump? That helmet is also here in the museum, and you'll see it later, and it's not in as good condition as this one, it turns out. So this is when Evel Knievel, this is in 77, so I'm sure many of you know the phrase jump the shark. Like you say, this show jumped the shark. This is the point where the show jumped the shark. And you probably know that comes from Happy Days when Fonzie did a motorcycle jump and he jumped over, I think in front of Al's, I think is where it was that had sharks in it. But Evel Knievel actually did it in real life. He did it before Happy Days. In 1977, it says he was scheduled a major jump in Chicago, Illinois, inspired by the blockbuster movie Jaws. He arranged to jump a tank containing 13 man-eating sharks on nationally televised live CBS program. However, during an unscheduled practice run 2 hours before, Knievel lost control of the motorcycle and crashed into a cameraman. And so there's a big story about he was really worried that the cameraman had lost his eye, and so he basically suppressed the footage or whatever. But the Happy Days incident, people think, oh, jump the shark. They think, oh, it's the Fonz, or whatever. But this guy did it in real life. What a kook. What a great guy. Here's more Evel Knievel costumes or outfits. I shouldn't say costumes. I should say his outfits. There's me with the outfits. This is a complete list of all of his jumps. And so you can see, like here it says, Buffalo, New York Speedway, 13 cars, success. Philadelphia, the Spectrum, 10 Chevrolet cars, success. The Great Barrington, Massachusetts Fair, 16 cars, crash. And so you can see all the ones that say crash on them. There seems to be more in the early days. There's a lot more crashes. Let's look down here. I was looking down here. Let's see. There's the Miami Speedway, the Sunshine. I was looking to see if I could find... there's the Wembley Stadium. This was the 13 buses. That was a big one for him. So anyway, that's kind of neat. Oh, it says, sorry, down here at the bottom, Evel Knievel jump statistics, 168 jumps, 19 crashes. So you don't have to count them all up yourself. Yeah, crash followed by cancel. So this is Evel Knievel's Mack truck that he toured in. He didn't tour in a tour bus. He toured in this truck. There are two trailers behind the truck. The first one is his living quarters, and the second one was the ramps. And he used one of his the ramps. He used them on all the jumps. So this is the truck. They actually repainted it for a different thing, and they found it was repainted and abandoned, and that's what they brought this to Topeka, and this is where it was restored, and that's literally why the museum is here. There's the truck. There's the front of the truck. You can kind of see the headliner in there. I mean, it's all, red, white, and blue, right? This was next to the truck. This was a Harley converted chopper that he rode around in. They also made a kid's toy that looked like this, which you'll see in a second. There you can see inside the Mack truck. And hey, L. Curtis. L. Curtis mentions the Snake River Canyon jump, which we're going to get to here very shortly. As my buddy asked me, he said, what all did they have in the Evel Knievel Museum? I said, what did they not have? They had everything you could ever want from Evel Knievel. So this is, you can't go into the trailer that he stayed in, but there's a sheet of plexiglass, so you could walk up to it. You could step up these stairs. And I want to point something out. So this is like his little chair, his little recliner chair that he would hang out in before a jump. But this is a whole bar. You see this wet bar that he had here, or maybe it's a dry bar. But he had this bar set up or whatever. But hidden inside here, under a secret panel, was a safe. And so when he went to go do jumps, he would demand payment in cash up front, because if he wrecked, then people would be like, well, I'm not paying you. Or if he died, they're not going to pay him. So he would get the cash up front. And he had this duffel bag, and I got a picture of the duffel bag, but he would bring it back in here, and then he would hide it down this safe. And then he would say, if anything happens to me, that's where the money is. And there was a sign that says, I think I have a picture of it, but it says when they found this, they found the safe and they found the bag, but there wasn't any money in it. He didn't leave any money in it. This is the back half of the trailer, the second car, and one of his motorcycles, but also those are the ramps. Those are his ramps that he would take to all his jumps. It all would stack up in there. I mean, it's literally looking at history. There's Evel Knievel jumping over us as we go up the stairs to the second level. There's the man. They had Evel Knievel right there, if you can believe it. He looks pretty good for being dead for 15 years, but there's Evel Knievel. And there he is right there. And then right next to this is a picture of him in that same stand. So you can look at the picture and you can look at him. You can look at the picture and you can look at him. So there you go. They did a pretty good job. Although it's his face looks kind of weird, but what are you going to do? Actually, maybe his real face looked weird now that I look at it. Anyway, here is, of course, again, you have the Lucky comment down there. You have one of his big helmets. Now, this is cool. So this was the skeleton. This is Evel Knievel's skeleton, or a replica of Evel Knievel's skeleton that is covered in colored dots. You can see there are green, blue, red, orange dots on this skeleton. And this is the legend for the skeleton. It has blue is bones that were fractured, green is broken bones, orange is broken and replaced bones, and red is broken multiple times. So that's pretty substantial. If you go back and look, pretty substantial damage to Evel Knievel's body. This is Evel Knievel's cane that you saw on the mannequin that they had set up. This is the helmet from the Caesar's Palace jump. So that's the jump that we watched the clip from earlier. This is the actual helmet. That's actual road rash. That's it. So imagine having your head in that, doing about 90 miles an hour down a ramp. Not good. This is a movie theater that they had set up, and apparently Evel Knievel, they were going to make a TV show, and he was going to be kind of like a crime fighter kind of guy that also jumped motorcycles and stuff. So it's kind of like Chips, but with Evel Knievel. And anyway, so they were showing the pilot to the show. The show never got picked up, so you can sit in here and watch the pilot. It was a nice little theater. This is a Indy 500 car that he sponsored for another driver, and so you can see the car here. There's also one of Evel Knievel's personal cars here, which is the Cadillac truck. So he had this Cadillac, let me see if there's a bigger shot, maybe not, but a Cadillac pickup made. So the front half is a Cadillac and the back half is a truck bed. And there's a little story that's posted here that basically said he sold this and he sold it to a guy and the guy restored it, and the guy ran into Evel Knievel one time and Evel Knievel was like, "Oh my gosh, it's my old truck." And he said, "Can I drive it around the block?" And he said, "Sure." And then Evel Knievel disappeared for 2 hours in the guy's truck. And he worried the whole time that he wasn't coming back. And then after 2 hours, he came back. That's what this little sign is explaining. But there's the Cadillac truck. That's the back of the Mack truck. There's another picture showing all the damages, some of his damages. Things that he broke. So first, the biggest one here is pointing to his skull. It says he was unconscious for 29 days after the Caesar's Palace jump. But you could go down here, teeth, jaws, sternum, vertebrae ×2, all ribs, pelvis 3 times, both wrists, both arms, lower vertebrae. I mean, the guy definitely did suffer for his art, that's for sure. This was the part of the museum that I was there are 2 parts that I was most excited about. This is one of the 2. This is the thing that I think most of you guys will really. Trezu says, "I bet he hated weather changes." I bet he did. I bet he's like, "Oh, it's going to rain." How do you know? Because I got 206 bones telling me that it's going to rain. So this is all Evel Knievel stuff, and there's lots more. And you can see all the stuff has his name on it. It has his colors on it. It went on and on and on. There's a couple things here that I know you guys will want to see. But this is the important sign, and I already kind of knew this, but basically what it says is that, there's the Evel Knievel pinball machine, if you've never seen that. There's some different games and stuff in there, race car sets, different toys and vans and jumping things. But what's that down at the bottom, that ramp? Wait, let me jump one more. Let's see more. There's more Evel Knievel stuff. Oh, baby, look at that. It's so cool that they had those set up and ready to go. I believe the red on red one was the original one, and then the next year they changed it to the red and blue. But no matter which one you had, they were super cool and super fun. I had one when I was a kid. There, you can't see on the other side, there was a handle, and you revved it up, and then it would take off, and he would do wheelies, and you could make jumps and do stuff like that. It was super awesome. So basically what it said was that Evel Knievel was the first individual, so not like a TV show or a marketing thing, but the first just individual person who sold his license. And then it says on that sign that from 1972 to 1977, I think it said, they sold $125 million worth of toys with his face on it, or his name, and he was getting a big giant chunk of that. I'm going back here because I want to see. There was one thing, it's not in these pictures. I've got a picture of it later. Look at all these. Look at that sweet van. There's the play suit, board games, more vans, more action figures, motorcycle. There's so much cool stuff, man. So much cool stuff. I love Evel Knievel. I didn't before I went in, but now I do. Just there's some more stuff, but yeah, there's the little ramp that you could buy to jump the guys off of. There's the thermos and the lunchbox. I mean, if you were a kid going to school and you had the lunchbox, someone said love the TV. Let me go back. Yeah, you can see the TV. They were showing commercials, vintage commercials on the TV. But yeah, if you had that lunchbox, man, you were cool. A clock in your room. I don't know what that little is. That like a Hot Wheels car. Just all kinds of stuff, you know. This was the other thing. I couldn't believe that this is here. Now, this is what L. Curtis Boyle mentioned earlier. For one of his last performances, Evel Knievel decided to jump Snake River Canyon. And so let me just say this. You can watch, it's just like Jackass or, Matt Hoffman, the BMX guys, or Travis Pastrana, all those guys. Like, you could watch them on TV and you could go, that's crazy. But when you go stand next to this and you go, a human being climbed into this and tried to jump a canyon in it, and you go, that's crazy. Like, when you see how small this thing is in real life and you go, he tried to get, so this was the Sky Cycle is what he called it. Now, if you didn't see the video and if you don't remember, there was a big controversy because when he got in there, and you can see the quote on the wall, he says, when they did the countdown and got to 3, he said, God, take care of me, here I come. He said, there's no way that he was going to be able to do this, right? And so the minute that he jumped, the parachute opened and the parachute went down and it landed on the nose or whatever, but he was safe. He lived, right? So and so what they said was that the parachute had misfired, but then some people said maybe it didn't misfire. Maybe he panicked and he hit the parachute the minute that thing took off when he was looking at jumping a canyon. So it's still debated a little bit today. This is the Sky Cycle, X2 Sky Cycle, and the Sky Cycle ramp, and these are the actual things right there. And I want to show you the front of the Sky Cycle. There's the side, but I mean, just imagine, like when you're standing next to this, you look at that, you go, "Good God, this guy's crazy." Anyway, yeah, there's the jumpsuit, and man, it had to have some extra space for a big pair to get in that thing. That's all I could say. But here's the front end of it. It's all smashed up from where it landed. But yeah, that's actually Buck Owens is talking about a famous interview that he did where they basically, he said if you thought you only had a 50-50 chance of making it, why did you do it? And he says, Evel Knievel says, do you know who the hell I am? He's Evel Knievel, baby. But anyway, that's the stunt cycle, and then the Sky Cycle, and then there was video of the jump up there playing like that. Everywhere had video. Here's a few other slot machines and some other things that were marketed, that had his name on it. Let's see, a jukebox, an Evel Knievel jukebox. There's some Evel Knievel Wheaties boxes and cups, tumblers, things like that. Now, this was kind of a hokey thing. We did not do this, but this was towards the end of the tour or at the end of the museum. For $5, I think you could do I think it's the Caesar's Palace jump, but it's virtual reality. So you get on this motorcycle and then they put VR goggles on you and it, wiggles around and it feels like you're jumping. I thought I could just imagine that. I didn't need to do it, but I thought it was cool that it was there. There's just another further away picture of some of the toys and licensed memorabilia. There's all license plates and things that other people had, that they'd mailed in to the museum. I think that's it. So then, okay, this is so it's going to start duplicating here, and I'll burst through it because So my wife, we find out that we take pictures of different things, but that thing there on the left, that's the safe. So that's the safe that was in the Mack truck. And that red duffel bag is the bag that he would demand cash payment, and he would put the cash in, and then he would go stuff it in the safe. And that was hidden inside the bar, inside the Mack truck. There's a little thing. Also, there's a better shot. Those are his real ramps that he used to jump. They're still in the back of the truck there. Those are the ramps. That's the truck. Now, my wife has her own Instagram page. She has a few Instagram pages, but one of them is called Susan Mimics. And what she does is every time we see a statue or a mannequin, she tries to do the exact same thing, and then she posts them on her Instagram. So if you want to go follow Susan Mimics, you can see her standing next to dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds at this point, statues with her acting like a goofball. And I have to take the pictures. So I have to stand there like a doofus and take these pictures. But anyway, that is the Evel Knievel Museum, which again is attached to the Harley Davidson dealership in Topeka, Kansas. So if you're in that area, and again, like I said, I walked into this with an interest level of 3 out of 10. And when I walked out, I was like, honey, sell the car. We're buying a motorcycle. And we are going to jump something right now. We're going to go get those stupid ramps from the back of that thing, and we're taking off. So, let's see. What do we got up here next? This is a game that Steel Rat and I played lots and lots and lots. The problem is it's difficult, and I haven't played it in a long time. Let me tell you, that museum, though, I mean, it gets your blood pumping. You know what I mean? Like you're walking through and you see all those, and it makes you feel like, you know that feeling when we were little kids and you would just be like, all right, I'm just going to get some scrap wood. And I literally, Jeff and I built skateboard ramps more than bike ramps, but we built ramps and we would just find wood with old nails in it. We'd pull those nails out and just reuse them in other things. Anyway, yeah, it just inspired a whole generation of people. So, there's Kickstart. There's Kickstart 2. Kickstart was the original. Kickstart 2 has some different features. It's really like Kickstart 1 Plus or Kickstart 1.5, right? But you can do random courses. You can do, obviously, the 2-player stuff, but there's also a level editor built into this game. Now, I think since this is a 2-player game, I'm not sure if I have to be, I may have to be in joystick port 1. Yeah. All right. So, so I'm on the top, and you'll figure that out very quickly. So the thing is, in Kickstart, is that every different type of terrain has to be driven on in a different way. So if you're on the, for example, this log that I'm about to go on, you can't do a wheelie on. Like this gate, you have to go slow and can't do a wheelie, but you have to do a wheelie off or a jump off of it. Those are tar things that slow you down. There's a jump. Let's see if I can jump that. Nope, didn't have enough speed. And then the game places you in a spot where it's safe. These are little things you can bunny hop, but I flipped my bike over. I didn't have enough speed to clear that one. It's a very freaking hard game. All right. So it won't start you on a ramp, right? So it goes past the ramp. That's rough terrain. You can't do a wheelie on that. That slows you up. Here's a bunny hop thing. I cleared that. I didn't clear that one. You spend most of the time laying on the ground in this game until you go back and let's see if I could. Okay, so I made it off all those except for I jumped when I was on the fence. You can't do a wheelie when you're going up a ramp. It's coming back to me now. You can't speed up when you're on the log. Let's see if I can do this more. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I didn't quite win, but... Oh, look at that. Look at me go now. Why did I blow up in midair? I think so. Oh, you can't speed up over the brick. There's just so many different... So really the point of this game is not just racing, but it's a matter... Oh, man, I was close on that one. It's a matter of remembering, and you got to get it down to muscle memory of what you could do on each part of the terrain. And when you get stuck like this, like there's a... Let's see. Now, can I speed up on this? Yes, a little bit. Okay. Cleared that. Cleared that. Oh. Oh, man. Yeah, I think Eddie Kidd was the original. And then this came along and tried to rip it off. Oh, boy. So, Kickstart 2 and Kickstart consists of 5 levels. So in this one, again, there are 25, I think, to choose from. Good Lord. But of those, so I just did random. So it randomly picked 5 of the 25. Oh, can't drive fast on that. And it won't start you on that. It won't start you on that. So now we get over here. I didn't even do anything and I died there. Oh, I forgot on the log you have to do wheelies. No? Man, this is a toughie. Kickstart 2 is a toughie. It is simultaneous 2-player split screen, so you can both play. And down there at the bottom, you can see where I am on. So look, it says A, B, C, D, E right there. But if I hit Z, and how just put them all as question marks, if I play again, then it will just pull up random levels. So you're going to see 5 different levels this time. Although I don't know that I'm going to live long enough to make it through 5 more levels. And for those of you that don't know, I only learned this, I don't know, 5 years ago? A few years ago? Where this stupid music comes from. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with where this music came from. If you're from the UK and you're watching my screen or stream, then you probably know where it came from. But if you are from the US, then you may not know. So you can play 2 players simultaneously. Now, this is also, Kickstart 2 is one of the very, very, very few games. I mean, there's literally a handful of games that got a specific or dedicated Commodore 128 release. It also got a Commodore 16 release. So, it was, what the heck? Do I got to do wheelies on that? No? I don't know what I'm doing wrong on the fence. I thought I did good. Alright, look at that. Oh, look, I'm tied with that guy. Oh, then he made the jump and I didn't. So Kickstart 2, like I said, you got to play this game a lot. You got to play this, and you got to, you know, really get into memorization of what you can do on each terrain. And really, at some point, you just have to memorize the levels, you know, which, again, this one goes to X or Y. Maybe Y, so there's 25 different tracks, 24, 25 tracks, something like that. Oh, look at that. Jump that. Right through that. All right. This game is frustrating as heck, but there is a level editor. By the way, I know we're doing a lot of show and tell tonight. But let me pull up this real quick. And YouTube has started doing this thing. I guess it's trying to show me ads, and it keeps blacking out my screen whenever I try to jump into ads. Okay. Let's find what screen to get to. So this is the UK program called Kickstart. And this is what the game is based on. It's a motorcycle trials television show. But this is the TV show Kickstart. But there's a reason. I'm trying to see if I can find the well, closing credits probably be at the end. Oh boy. Well, looking over his shoulder. Now onto the stop box. Oh, unlucky. Oh, unlucky. Here we go. So this is the BBC theme song from the TV show. Which is the song from the game. There you go. I did not know that. The whole time I was a kid, I did not know that. But if you've played that game, then you're probably, you've heard that song in your sleep. I mean, it just plays that same little ditty over and over and over. We got one more game. God, it's another one. It's one I haven't tried, and I'm almost so tempted just to go back and play some more Eddie Kidd. That game was fun. Eddie Kidd's going on my list, even though I just want to. It's like the barrel jump, in the sense that I just want to see how high I could go, like how many cars can I actually jump. Once you get the the speed part down. It just didn't seem to be that hard after that part. I'm looking for. Well, I don't see it. I was looking for Moto X Simulator, which would be like Motocross Simulator, which I don't see on here, but in the same area I see Motorbike Madness. So we're going to try Motorbike Madness. Actually, all right, we'll take it to a vote. Would you rather see Motorbike Madness or Motor Massacre? I think I'm looking at scores here. Okay, I think I'm making a command decision here. Yeah, it's interesting that they changed the spelling of the name too, right? Like it's Kickstart, Kickstart, all one word, and the TV show was Kick Space Start. So that must have been some sort of marketing thing where they thought it would make it too hard to find in store shelves or magazines or something like that, you know. But yeah, it is strange that they changed the name, but the music is all on key. See ya, Steel Rat. Text me later when you're available. I'll give you a call. Do you want infinite lives? No. No, we're not dirty, dirty cheaters. You know what? I saw a video of this. This looked terrible. Up? Well, I don't want to do that. No. Can I not just play with it? Do I have to do up? Up, down, no, no. Can I just play with the joystick? Well, that's terrible. This looks terrible. Well, I can't play with the joystick. So the controls are completely reversed. So I press up to go faster. I press left to spin right, right to spin left, down to stop. There's a Volkswagen. I just want to end my suffering. So this is like, yeah, Marble Madness motorcycle, exactly. What's weird is that the up and down are swapped, but the left and right are not. So the left and right are, like, left really turns you left and right really turns you right, but up makes you go down faster and down stops you. Okay, well, that wasn't good. All right, let's try this for real. Well, there's a little jump. I thought I made it in between there. It's pretty iffy on the sprite detection. All right, we're going to try an old trick. We want to see if there's a... Whoa. Oh, it bounced me off the wall. I'm not trying to bounce off the wall. I'm trying to find a... little gap to roll through. Oh boy. What was I supposed to do there? Am I supposed to... Oh, I gotta go all the way back to the beginning. Oh, hey, just to clarify, it did let me start with the joystick. So it didn't say anything about the joystick, but then it's letting me use the joystick. So, but yeah, I agree. Based on the screen, it didn't show anything about the joystick. Okay, so let's get down here to the bottom when we got to the tar pit. Now, what am I supposed to do here? Is there any path? Maybe I'm just supposed to go very slow. No. Let's see how slow it's gonna go. All right, I got one last thing to take us out on. It's been a bumpy, just like Evel Knievel's landings. It has been a bumpy night for the old Sprite Castle. We had a nice OBS crash. We had a game not work. We had what else did we have? We had a bad host. Here we go. I hate that. I don't know why it doesn't. You can't do a space there. Yeah, you know, Kickstart is obviously the most common of the bunch. That stunt biker thing is not one that I've played a lot of before. But you know, a game that I have played before is Eddie the Kid. Eddie Kid Jump Challenge. We're going to try one last jump here. What I want to see is if I can I bump this up, or do you have to start at 4 cars? It looks like you got to start it. You got to start at 4. All right. Last jump, one last jump of the night. I bet we can do this one in second gear. Come on, Eddie, take us home. Stay on that bike, buddy. Don't blow that engine. Look at that. Oh, no. Oh, no, Eddie. Eddie. We killed Eddie. Well, guys, thanks for jumping in. I hope you enjoy the Evel Knievel Museum pictures. I hope... thanks for joining back. You know, OBS, man, is it's the best program of its type, and it's the worst program of its type. So sometimes you roll with the punches. But thanks, everybody. For those of you that will be going to Boat Fest the weekend after next, Steel Rat and I will see you there. You can't miss us. We will be parked at the giant RV out in the parking lot, partying it up. I'm going to be bringing some items for the auction. We're going to be bringing some things. I'll be doing an episode of Sprite Castle live, and then Amigo Aaron and I will be doing a second thing that we've talked about. We haven't worked out the details yet, but it has something to do with us talking about random topics and also doing shots every time that the topic changes. So I'm not really sure how the logistics of that are going to work out yet, but you know what? If it's has to do with talking with Aaron and doing shots, I'm in. We'll figure it out from there. So, thanks everybody for jumping in. I have an episode of Sprite Castle ready to go. I'll probably record that later tonight. And you know, one thing that I always forget to do is go through here at the end. I see Commander Root. Of course, we've had Adam in the house tonight, Drazu. Some new people hanging on here. Ricky Drocha. Salted Water in the house. Steve Birds. Tintin being awful quiet tonight, but always supporting the show. Texas Foosballer. I see Tippins in the channel. Several new people in the night. So thanks everybody for jumping in and rolling with the technical nonsense. And I will see you guys soon. And for those of you that are going to Boat Fest, I'll see you there. Take care, everybody.